Oh, hey guys, what's going on? It's Saturday, 6 p.m. No, I am not just getting up, but I am going into work. I work the 7 to 7 shift today, then I'm off tomorrow and Monday. But, yeah, let's just say, the weather outside, she's winter. Just playing my little Trailer Park Boys game here, collecting some trunks. Yup, getting some woolly goats and barb. Then we got our little event going on right now for the community theater event with Leahy, and you can also get the Bible Pimp and Cinnamon Bun Head, so that's pretty cool. Been working away on this one here. This ends on Monday, this event here, and yeah, just been plugging away. Haven't sunk any money into it because I don't see the point right now. I'm working on Leahy. Let me see if I can do this through the camera. This is what I've unlocked so far. So I got Leahy and the hash coins, and then I get the Bible Pimp. And usually I end up getting screwed over around here. This is where I just don't have enough oomph, because if you pay money to win the game, you can actually clear it. But you gotta like sink a lot of money. Just look at how ridiculous this is, alright? You click on the bone. Look at this! $25, and that's not Canadian, that's US dollars, just to get some virtual shit. Like, who's dumb enough to actually pay that shit? Who is dumb enough? That's ridiculous. I need to make a game like this that's super addictive, that people sink money into for virtual shit that doesn't mean anything, just so I can sit at home all day and do nothing. I couldn't do that. I'd have to work. I go stir crazy. I remember I did that for 6 months. It sucked. Alright, well, let's get the hell out of here and head out. It's a little early, but I usually like to go to the grocery store before I go into work to get snacks on these night shifts, because you're there for 12 hours, so why not have some snacks? Oh man. Ugh. So as you can tell behind me, currently snowing like a son of a bitch. Freaking windows all covered. Been doing this since I got off work at 7 a.m. Just brutal. So we'll turn down the audio here and yeah, see if we can just kind of use the wipers to get it all off there. Yeah, highly effective. Oh yeah, 10 out of 10 would wipe again. I need to snap that blade, I think. So normally for these shifts here, I just go over to the Freshco and pick up some shit, like some sodas or juice or something to drink, depending on the coffee level at work. Maybe a thing of instant, because I don't really have a way to prepare coffee, but there is the water cooler that spits out hot water. So you just put some instant into your coffee mug, shoot some hot water in there, a little bit of whitener and some sweetener, and you got an okay coffee. It's, you know, camp quality coffee, if you will, because a lot of people, when they go camping, they bring the instant, because, you know, the lack of hydro makes percolator pretty much impossible to use. And if you bring a Keurig camping, like, come on, you're not even camping at this point. You might as well just bring a plasma TV and your Xbox. But I know a lot of people who use the instant for camping, or they bring one of those French presses for camping, because you can get the kind that you can just sit right on the fire to heat up the water. And then you just throw your coffee bean into it, put the press thing on the top, squish her down, and pour your cups, which does make a fantastic cup of coffee too. But a lot of the times it's just easier to bring instant and boil some water and coffee up. If I use instant at work because they used to make coffee in the lunchroom, but they kept leaving the friggin' machine on. And I don't know if you ever seen what happens to a coffee pot when you heat it and it's empty. After a while, it gets really dry and brittle, and well, it comes apart. And then the plastic shroud on it catches fire. Then everybody's evacuated from the building, because some dummy running the coffee station forgot to turn the damn thing off. And no, I am not that dummy. So I just figure instant's the best. It's easy solution for when times are tough, and you know, hot water is easy to make. You just got to heat it up. But yeah, I just get stupid things like potato chips and like snacking foods. I literally turned the office for these next 12 hours into my little clubhouse. Now, last night it was just me on because, well, Good Friday. There's nothing to do. It was a dead night. So I ended up watching Trailer Park Boys Season 12, which came out yesterday. And after I do my shopping, I'm going to talk about that. But I don't want to give away any spoilers. But I want to talk about my feels and what I felt. I watched it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I don't know. It was different. It was more, I don't know. I'll talk about it after I get out of Fresco here. Let's just go get our munchies, and then we'll talk about the show for a bit, and maybe if you didn't watch it yet, I apologize. I'm not gonna give any spoilers away. I'm not gonna fucking ruin the show for you or anything. But I just want to give my own opinion on how I felt about the whole ordeal. So, all right, I'll be right back. All right, we got our snack foods. Got some stackables, some pepperoni, some potato chips, some pizza pockets. Just genuine all-around junk food. So good, but probably not for you. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Trailer Park Boys and what my first impression was. So, anybody who doesn't know what the Trailer Park Boys is, basically, it's a group of guys out in Nova Scotia who live in a trailer park. It's a fictional TV show, okay? It's not based on real events. They are actually really friends, like in real life. Like, it's a group of guys who got together, a team of 4 back in the day. Fladenberg, Wells, Tremblay, and Smith all got together and started producing these little little movies, if you will. A lot of them didn't make it, and then they made the pilot for Trailer Park Boys, which was super dark, where they basically took money from people to kill people's pets. Like, let's say you had a neighbor's dog that was barking all hours of the night and you're trying to sleep. You can give them $200 in unmarked 10s and 20s, and they would be like, all right, we're going to take care of the job today. You go home that night and that dog's missing because they bagged and tagged it. Pretty dark indeed. But they aired it on Showcase, which is a channel up here in Canada, and it got huge results. So Showcase basically said, all right, we're going to run a pilot season, and we're going to give you so much money per episode. Make it so. So they released a pilot season, which is 6 episodes for season 1, which was completely ad-libbed, and the show blew up. Like, it went crazy. Super amazing. So they said, all right, let's do season 2, 10 episodes. Season 3, 10 episodes. And they've been doing the 10 episode run. Now they're on season 7. They're supposed to end it. Okay. It ended on a good note. The boys got a lot of money from doing a drug deal. They didn't need to work anymore. Clydenberg wanted to hang up the towel, end of an era, shut her down, move on to bigger and better projects. Well, the boys weren't done. Court dates, blah, blah, blah. Finally, they won the intellectual property of Trailer Park Boys from Clydenberg. On came season 8, no longer written by Clydenberg. And let me tell you, the difference between the Clydenberg stories and the Wells, Smith, and Tremblay stories, way different. Clydenberg was a writer. These guys, I don't want to say they're amateur hacks. Like, they're doing a good job, but you can tell that there's a difference in the whole story. But as for season 12, I didn't know what to expect. It ended on a whack note. Season 11. Season 12, it just felt like a running beer ad. Like, you guys know Trailer Park Boys has their beer, Freedom 35, out there. I've already sampled it on the channel and said it was pretty damn amazing. But I can't find that beer anywhere anymore. It's in the beer store, apparently, but they never stock it. The liquor store never has it in. And when you look up where to buy it, the closest place I can find it is in Barrie, Ontario, which is like a 4-hour drive away. So I'm not about to do that just to get some frickin' beer. It's really good stuff. It should be stocked more. I'd probably buy 2 4s of that if it was readily available instead of this Miller High Life, because it's good stuff, but can't find it. But the whole show just felt like a running ad for Freedom 35, the beer. And, you know, they didn't really focus on the protagonists, Leahy and Randy, very much. They had a couple other scenes in there with the security dick, but I don't know, in the end, it didn't feel like... it just didn't feel like the regular stuff. It was still good, but not as good as it could have been if they didn't focus so much on Freedom 35, the beer. But that's all it felt like to me. It was just a giant rolling beer ad for 12 episodes, or 10 episodes. I could be wrong. Maybe you guys feel different about it. You let me know. But I'm going to stop it here because I'm almost at work. And we'll pick it up in the AM. Alright, guys? So until then, peace the frig out. Oh, 7:11 AM. I had to let the truck warm up a bit. Window is frozen. It's a bitter cold day in North Bay. And all the water that was on the windshield last night after I parked it, because there was a stream of water running down from the roof there, kind of made a little lake, like an iceberg type icicle whatever on the window. So I had to smash that off with the ice chipper. But we're good now. We can see where we're going. It just took about 8 minutes of letting her idle. Oh my goodness, that sun. It's right in the optics level. Oh yeah, just cooking the irises. The iris. Anyway. So, you know, for 12 hours, didn't really do too much. It's Easter weekend. There's nobody, like, just the only places running are like the core operations, and they hardly ever have any issues. So we just basically sat there all night, and my colleague was working from home, so I probably could have done the same. I just hate working from home because if you get a call and, you know, Oreo, he just decides to start barking because he's bored. I can't have him in the room with me because if he hears voices that aren't mine and he can't figure it out, instinct tells him to start barking. He's stupid. He's a dog. What can I say? You know, you tell him to be quiet and he's got to get the last bark in. And like, stop it. And he's like, bark. No, bark. Like he's always got to have the last chirp, right? But anyway, so I ended up watching Trailer Park Boys season 12 again because I had to watch it a couple times. Like, and you know, my first reaction was it felt like a running beer commercial, and then I watched it again, and you know what? It's actually really good. Like, they touch on a lot of older stuff from the previous seasons, mainly a lot from season 1 and 2. A lot of the stuff from then, because remember, the Freedom 35 beer is based off their plan when they get out of jail in season 2 of Freedom 35 of growing weed, turning it to hash, and selling it to the prison guards, and then getting $35,000 each to basically live forever, live like kings for the rest of their lives. They could retire off $35,000. Isn't that funny? Like, 35 grand nowadays is like your annual salary. But what's this guy four-way flashing for? I don't see it. I'm just gonna get around him. Maybe he blew a tire or something. I don't know. Oh, he was turning. Well, that's what the signal lights are for there, Chief. But whatever. But no, like it was good. Like, I really enjoyed it. The ending, though, like, as you all know, the guy who plays Jim Leahy, John Dunsworth, passed away this year. And because of his passing, obviously the Leahy character will no longer be there. But at the end of the entire series, they basically said, dedicated to a beloved friend and mentor, John Dunsworth. And then they had a clip with John where he's sitting on a couch, and he says this quote. He goes, "When you're dead, you're dead. But you're not dead if you contributed something." And it really makes you think, right? Like, if you've done something to the world that people are always going to say your name, and you just say contributed. It could be you done something bad to the world, done something good to the world. Like, look at all the mass killers out there who are still remembered to this day, even though they're dead, because of the bullshit they did. You know, look at all the things, the people that did really good in the world that are remembered today, even though they've been dead forever. So even though you're dead, you're not truly dead if you've contributed. And like when I met him at the Voyager and we sat there and we talked for a while, he would just drop tidbits of information, like just tidbits of things like that on you. And it really made you think, like this is a guy who's obviously been through shit and he knows how the world worked. And you could easily just like I don't know, he would say simple things like that, and he would just look at you to see your expression, to see if the wheels in your head were now turning or if the expression just bounced off you like a super ball. And that's the kind of guy he was. He was friggin' awesome. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna do season 13. Like, I still stand by that they did focus a lot on the beer, because I'm telling you, watching season 12, I was really starting to crave a beer. I really, really was like, man, I think I might go home and have a beer before I go to bed. Might have a beer or two just to unwind and then go to bed. Just because. So, anyhoozle, I'm almost home, so, I'll chat with you more when I get there. Alright, peace. Ooh, it's time to break into a cop car. Let's see what we get. We got some Sarah, some hash coins, sweet, some Denture King, some, a costume for Sarah, some liqueur, some more liqueur, a flannel costume for Jay Rizzle, some Miss Peterson, some Ron Pencock, and that is all I got. Season completed! Weird. My computer was turned off. Must have did a Windows update without my knowledge. Windows update confirmed. What the heck is that blue line? Oh, don't tell me this monitor's starting to dicker up. Oh. Kinda like this monitor. Mainly because it was free. Oh well. It's the way she goes, boys. Nothing never lasts forever. Looks fine here, though. Maybe it's just that screen being weird. We'll see what happens when it boots into wind blows. But at least I got some beer. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. I don't see no line. It was probably just that stupid screen. Maybe. Who knows? Whatever. I'm starting to have a feeling there wasn't a Windows update that was pushed. I'm starting to have a feeling the power failed. To know that for sure, and I'm right. The power did fail 6 hours and 27 minutes ago. Son of a bitch. I don't know if it's going to show through, but this screen is majorly discolored because 90% of the time this monitor's kept closed. But look at all the dust on the keyboard. Wow. Yeah, this computer's just kept closed and it pipes into the TV behind it, which is currently also turned off. Let's see if it'll turn back on. Hey, normally it makes a stupid sound when it turns back on, but it didn't make the stupid sound. I don't know what's going on, but it's turning back. I gotta go turn on my servers and all sorts of things. And there we go, there's the sound. I got the keyboard over here. Luckily that's not affected by power. This is battery operated. Alright, we'll let this thing boot up. Now I gotta go turn back on my server. My server. Ain't your puppy. Ain't your bark bark. Almost fell down the stairs. You're dumb. Why am I so zoomed in, frig sakes? Anyway, I'm super tired. I had a beer. Feels like I drank 4 of them. Because, I guess when you're super tired and and you ingest alcohol, it hits you harder. But this thing doesn't care. Look at him. Look at him beating up on that fox. I turn the camera on him and he acts out even harder. You're a weirdo. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go to bed. I just went downstairs, rocked a piss, and I'm freaking tired. So I'm gonna take this camera, go into this room, put it on the desk, and call her a night. But anyway, let me know if you watched Trailer Park Boys and what you thought of it. It's always zoomed in. Every time I close the lens, it zooms back in. But whatever. Let me know if you watched Trailer Park Boys and what you thought of it. I thought it was really well done. The second time I watched it, I caught a lot more of the Easter eggs and a lot more of the other things. Like, I don't want to spoil any of it. Let me know what Easter eggs you caught, if you caught any. Because they really touch base on a lot of the season 1 and 2. Especially with bringing back Candy. And there was other things that they did, that they've done throughout the previous season, like the earlier seasons. And a lot of characters from season 2 I found. Like the mall security dick. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was... First time I watched it, all I could think about was beer. Because that's what Bubbles' business was crafting beer. And yeah, just dicked. So actually, in reality, it made me want to get back into crafting beer. But I tried it the one time and I didn't really enjoy it because, well, I didn't do anything. I didn't really make the beer. All I did was told the guy what to do, and he did it for me. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. I'll probably watch it again. Watch the season again there in the near future. Probably end up watching it all from the start, right to the beginning, right from the start to the end. See, my favorite 2 seasons were season 2 and season 3. I love season 2 because it was ad-lib. There was no script. They basically knew what they were going to say, sort of, and just went with it and tried to keep it as natural as possible to make it look like it was a real live documentary. And season 2 was where they grew the dope for hash. I mentioned that in the truck on the way to work. To sell it to the security guards to make Freedom 35, which is the name of the beer in season 12. So just that whole season, because it was actually filmed in an active trailer park, and they got in major trouble a lot of the times for firing off blanks, because like Ricky would shoot at squirrels and stuff, and he was shooting blanks, but a blank or a real round, they sound pretty much the same. And there's people trying to live their lives in this trailer park, and they're blasting rounds off like bang, 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 bang. It sounds like a war zone all the time. Friggin' Ricky and his gun. And the reason why I liked season 3 so much is because they were doing a bunch, like, they had their money in the beginning. They blew it all. Like, Ricky blew his right away. Julian made a couple of bad business decisions, and he lost all his money. So they had to go back to a life of crime to try and make it. And they had this great idea of raising up enough money so instead of going to jail, they can go on a cruise. And they were doing all sorts of just dirty deeds, like barbecue stealing and bottle drives and just dirty stuff to make money. Stealing ATMs and bubblegum machines and parking meters and whatever they could get their hands on to get some cash, they were doing. And it was greasy. They ran a gas station out of Ricky's driveway using like a garden hose hooked up to a petrol can, like a giant drum, oil drum, with a pump on it to build pressure, so they could sell gas. And they're laundering the money through the hair salon. So if you got a certain type of haircut, it got you $20 in gas. But they had no way to measure $20 in gas. Oh, that season was one of my favorites, especially when they go to court for stealing the gasoline and then reselling it, and Ricky gets them out of it. like, all this stuff from season 1, like all the earlier seasons, was brought back into season 12, which made it like a major reminder. And even on the last episode, like that was the major killer, was they revisited a lot of the areas that they used on the earlier, even the sand pit from the pilot, where Ricky and Julian are sitting there and they're talking about psychics and stuff, and just squeezing off rounds from their pistols. Like, they're just blasting that shit with their pistols. They revisit that sand pit. Mind you, they don't really... Well, they do shoot guns in there, but there's... Yeah. I don't know. It was really cool to see. And that's why I thought, like, season 12... When I saw that ending, I'm like, well, I know they're writing season 13 because they're talking about it on the Trailer Park Boys SwearNet channel. So that they're going ahead with season 13, but then I see them doing all this, and it's like, are they trying to close loops? Like, are they basically revisiting this because this is it? But the ending, like, once you see the ending, it's just messed, and I don't know. After watching it again, I was like, yeah, you know what? I was kind of harsh in my initial review. It's actually really good. They did a great job on season 12. I have to give it to them. It's dark. It's a lot darker. Ricky's new girlfriend is quite the piece of work. And, yeah, it's, well, go check it out if you have Netflix. You might like it, you might not. It's up to you. But anyway, I gotta shut her down. I'm rambling at this point. I gotta go to bed. I've been up for a while now, and I'm freaking tired. So, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, and comment. Until next time, people, keep on vlogging.